Hey, Greek Free Trainer here. I'm reviewing Tanner Shucks. If you're natty, you must chase these numbers. Let's check it out.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
If you're a natural lifter and you're still small, soft, or look like you don't train, it's not because you're missing some fancy program. It's not because you're not doing the newest science-based method. And it's definitely not because you need more exercise variety. It's because you're weak. And until you fix that, nothing else matters. Today, I'm going to show you the only numbers that matter for natural lifters and the 6 exercises you must get brutally strong at if you actually want to get big, lean, and jacked without steroids. And if you don't have these numbers, stop wasting your time with bull and start chasing strength. Here's the problem with modern fitness. Everyone is obsessed with optimal rep ranges, long length partials, stretch mediated hypertrophy, RIR, RPE, or the latest scientific study. Meanwhile, they can't squat twice their body weight, and they wonder why their physique hasn't changed in years. Natural lifters do not grow from complexity. They grow from load, tension, and progression. And that starts with foundational human movement patterns. If you're natural, you don't get to fuck around. You must choose exercises that stress the entire system, allow you to lift the heaviest loads through a large range of motion, that are easily, progressively overloadable and trainable for decades. That's why barbells and basic bodyweight movements dominate. You can add 1, 2, 5 pounds to a barbell or a dip belt forever. You can't progressively overload cable flies, machine presses, or isolation bullshit for 10 to 20 years. Maximum 6 to 8 weeks tops. Think about it. How long can you realistically overload a leg extension or a preacher curl? Barbell training is different. Barbells force your whole body to work. Stabilizers, core, your central nervous system, everything. And if you're natty, you must stress the entire organism, not just a muscle. These are the 6 foundations of human strength. And if you ignore these, you're gonna stay small forever. Number 1 is the back squat. The standard to chase is a double body weight squat. This builds your legs, glutes, core, lower and upper back, mental toughness. Coaching cues. Get your feet slightly wider than hip width. Get your toes pointed slightly out. Take a big breath, brace your abs, sit down and back. Make sure you squat to full depth. Stand all the way up, no half reps. And if you can't squat heavy with full depth, your lower body development will always suck. Actually, your entire muscular development will lag because squats will get your entire body big and strong.
Now that is true. Squats, definitely the foundation to get big. Recommendation on squats is you're going to be doing them only at 5 to 8 reps. As when you do 5 to 8 reps, it's the first exercise of your leg routine, so you want to make sure that you're going as heavy as possible. This way, it will boost your natural testosterone levels. So make sure that you have good technique. You got to have squat shoes on. No ifs, ands, or buts. As squat shoes keep equal balance between your forefoot and your heel, so you will be able to go ass to grass. Your legs aren't going to grow if you don't get your ass down to the ground. Even the squat that he did was okay, but you need to go deeper if you really want to get those quads to grow. So again, everything you said was correct. Slight angle out, keep your core tight, but you actually got to brace your upper back too. Take the bar and break it over your back and squeeze those upper back muscles. That'll keep the bar as vertical as possible, as well as using the squat shoes. That bar will stay vertical and you will go down deep. You're going to get more growth when you're more vertical on squats. That's why a lot of people do front squats, as they see growth from that because they're vertical. But all you got to do is switch to squat shoes and your game has changed, baby. It's time to get the big legs. Let's go.
Number 2 is the conventional deadlift. The standard to chase is a 2.5 body weight deadlift. This is total body strength. Coaching cues. Make sure you have a narrow hip width stance. Get the bar over your midfoot. Keep your chest up and your back flat. Make sure your arms are long and relaxed and that they're hooking onto the bar with your hands. Then push the floor or leg press the floor away from you. Hips and your shoulders should rise together. Lock out by standing tall, not leaning back. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Deadlifts are the greatest back building exercise there is. And anyone who disagrees is someone who's never built up their deadlift. And don't say Romanian deadlifts are better for hypertrophy. They're not. Think about this logically. What's going to build your back more? Ripping 500-pound deadlifts for reps or doing Romanian deadlifts at 135 pounds for a stretch? The 500-pound deadlifts, obviously. Use your brain. And if you're natty and you're weak at deadlifts or squats, your entire system is undertrained. And if you purposely avoid heavy deadlifts and squats because they're hard, that's pencil neck pussy shit, and I don't like you.
Compound exercises are going to get you the most mass, so he's on the right track here. The only problem is with the deadlift. The conventional deadlift, yeah, it will build your upper back, your traps, your rhomboids, your lats, It's a killer exercise, but most people, when they do it, they suck at it. Their form sucks. They end up getting hurt. They blow their back out, and then they can't even train. So how are you going to get buff if you can't train? So what you got to do is, if form sucks, you don't have a good coach, and you're ended up hurting yourself, you can still get massive gains. Do bent over rows at a full 90-degree depth of the bent over row. I would even stand on a little platform like Schwarzenegger used to do and stretch that bar down where you're tapping the floor and then bring it up. And you're going to get a lot of growth in the mid-back and your lats and your traps. So that's another one you can use in place of this one. The RDLs are still great for the lower back. You're going to build it up really good. More of a posterior chain, hamstring, glute. But you're having issues with the conventional deadlift. Most people have issues with conventional deadlift because they suck at it. But if you're good at it, yeah, you're going to get great growth. If you're not that great at it, hit those pull-ups. You can eventually get the weighted pull-ups. And then bent over rows. Those will all blast your back and get them buff. You're going to get a lot of thickness on the bent over rows. You're probably going to get more thickness on a bent over row than you will on an actual conventional deadlift. But conventional deadlifts are still great for back growth. So I agree with that. As long as you don't suck at it, then you can go ahead and do it and don't blow your back out.
Number 3 is the bench press. The standard to chase is a 1.5 body weight bench. The bench press builds your chest, triceps, shoulders, and your overall upper body pressing strength. Coaching cues. Make sure your feet are planted firmly on the ground. Get your upper back tight, get a slight arch. The bar touches your lower chest around your sternum. Then press the bar straight back up. Make sure you lock out every rep. Touch and go and pausing reps are great. Just no major bouncing and no ego half reps. A strong bench means the odds are you're going to have a barrel chest and some cannon arms.
Now, bench press is the God Almighty chest exercise. Monday's National Chest Day, so we got to do chest on Mondays. Everyone's doing pushes on Mondays. The thing about bench is you're not just going to go up on your bench doing progressive overload. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. You need a solid routine. I have a killer routine. I had a client that just did a bench routine. It's a 10-week routine, and he increased 30 pounds in 10 weeks. And again, it's basically all assisting muscles, and it's done by percentages. You're not going to get massive strength gains if you're not doing percentages on a routine. Again, progressive overload is good. You're always changing up the resistance. It's killer. You're going to get more muscle. But you're probably going to plateau unless you do an actual percentage routine where it's designed to work all the assisting muscles that help aid in the push. So again, if you want that routine, message me. I will get you your bench up 20 to 30 pounds in 10 weeks, and I guarantee it, baby. Come on, let's go.
Number 4 is the barbell overhead press. The standard to chase is a 0.75 body weight overhead press. If you have your body weight or anything above that, you are elite. This lift separates real strength from gym bullshit. You can do all the shoulder press machines and lateral raises you want. A big overhead press is what separates the men from the boys. Coaching cues. Tighten up your glutes. Brace your abs. Have a shoulder width grip and use a suicide grip with your thumbs under the bar. The bar starts at your upper chest. Press the bar straight up and make sure you get your head through at the top. Don't use any leg drive. I highly recommend using fractional plates to progressively overload your presses because you're not going to be able to add 5 to 10 pounds a week to your presses like you can with your squats and your deadlifts. But as long as you're adding some weight, you know you're getting stronger.
Now that is true. Overhead press, killer exercise. The only issue with that exercise, he's right, it's a compound exercise, so you're going to get growth. Those people that do overhead press, if you have any sign of any shoulder injury, you're not going to be able to do them. You're going to have to use dumbbells, which is still killer. But you know how you know when you're doing dumbbells and you're pressing like this? It's the exact same angle, but you're pressing like this over your head. It's going to be a lot safer. You're still going to get a lot of good resistance, a lot of progressive overload because you're going to be able to go up on those dumbbells over time. But the way he's doing it, where you're picking it up from the ground and pushing it over your head, those are killer. He says don't use your legs. Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno, they used to do them. They would actually use their legs to get a little more force reps. It's hard to get force reps. Is that you can't even get a spot on that exercise. There's no one that can spot you when you're lifting that from behind. It's almost impossible because it's a very aggressive, fast movement. So I would recommend using the legs a little bit if you want to get a couple force reps at the end, as you're going to have to create a stimulus to get the growth. So it's okay if you do that. Just make sure you wear a belt. You know, I think that's a great exercise. Just try those little tactics. Watch some old videos of like Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno doing those exercises, and they're great for mass and growth. As you can see, those guys were huge. Come on, baby.
And if you can overhead press your body weight, you are strong, period. Number 5 and 6 are strict pull-ups and dips. The standard to chase is 15 to 20 strict reps at body weight. These demonstrate relative strength. And the reason you want to have good relative strength is because it ensures that you're not a fat sack of shit. There's plenty of fat powerlifters and strongmen that can lift heavy barbells, but couldn't do strict pull-ups to save their life. Don't be that guy. Coaching cues. On the pull-up, make sure you start from a dead hang. Get your chin over the bar or your chest to the bar at the top. No kipping. Have full control. And if you want to make them harder, keep your legs straight and feet together and maintain a hollow body position.
On the pull-ups, he's exactly right. Coaching cues were good. The only thing he left out is if you really want to strengthen your pull-ups and get more reps doing pull-ups, you need to whip those elbows in. As you're not really going to engage the lats much, you're going to get a lot of shoulders and biceps doing it this way. So all you have to do is just whip those elbows in as you're coming up, and you're going to be able to get a lot more repetitions when you do that. It'll increase your reps. Probably once you get used to it a couple weeks, you might get an extra 3 to 5 reps. Once you get that technique, it's more of like a loose finger. You're whipping them in. I've done videos or shorts to show you how to do it, or I've even done it in actual videos. So check some of my old videos out. And definitely use those elbows to come in so you can get more power coming up. That's the whole secret behind that exercise, is engaging your lats to make sure you can get those repetitions. Baby, let's go, get the repetitions.
Now the dip, make sure you have shoulders down, get a slight forward lean, full depth, and lock out hard every rep. And if you can't move your own body weight through space repeatedly, you're not strong. You're inflated.
Dips, you're going to have to be able to use your own body weight to do them first. Secondly, a lot of times I see people do dips, they try to keep their elbows in. It's actually working a lot of pecs. It's probably one of the best finishers on a chest day. So try to make sure when you're coming down, those elbows are coming like this way. You don't want them in because you want to stretch that chest. It's almost like doing an inverted dumbbell press. And dips will, no ifs, ands, or buts, is in my bench routine, my 10-week. Guarantee at the end of your chest days, do it before tricep extensions. Eventually build up to doing it weighted. It's probably one of the best exercises in the entire push routine that I have that'll strengthen your bench. So you have to do this, and you got to do them full range. You got to get a deep stretch. Don't do those fake dips. Nobody likes fake dips. I hate seeing people in there that do these little baby quarter dips or partials. Again, partials aren't going to do anything until the end of the set when you're completely failed. Unless you're doing them in between each full, then that would also be very effective. But there's a certain way to do partials, and most people don't know what the heck they're doing. I know how to do it because I'm a master trainer, and I know what the heck I'm doing. I've been doing it 30, 40 years plus, baby. Let's go! But he's got a point. Again, dips, very important exercise. That is one of my number one exercises on push day. If you're not doing that on push day, you need to add it in. Add it into your push day. You got to get the strength. You got to get the bench up. Let's go. Get the bench up.
Lastly, weighted pull-ups and weighted dips. The standard chase is 10 reps of each with 25% of your body weight. This is where natties get jacked. Weighted calisthenics combine heavy loading, stability, full range of motion, and progressive overload. And if you can do weighted pull-ups, weighted dips with real weight, your upper body will be thick, dense, and strong.
Weighted dips, again, my number uno de uno of exercises. Again, I can't stress you how important that exercise is. Weighted pull-ups, you got to be able to do pull-ups first. If you're not cranking out at least 20 pull-ups plus, I wouldn't even try to do any weighted pull-ups as you're wasting your time. Again, use the same technique I was explaining to you before. Just make sure on weighted pull-ups, you're going to really have to get those lats engaged to actually get that weight up with you. As your body weight, of course, the heavier you are, it's harder unless you're just a beast. So then again, if you're a beast and you're massive 250 plus and you're cranking out 25, 30 reps, you're a beast, baby. Let's go, a beast. Come on. But again, weighted dips, great. Weighted pull-ups, great. But make sure on weighted pull-ups, don't even attempt to try them unless you can get 20 plus. And then start adding incrementally. Don't try to throw on like a 25 pounder. Maybe start with like a 10 or even a 5. As your body's never done it, so you have to basically, you're creating the stimulus, and you got to get used to having weight hanging from your body. So again, weighted dips, weighted pull-ups, awesome exercises to throw in there to get good. Just make sure you're not going to get jacked just by doing these exercises. You got to create a surplus and maybe start throwing in some supplements. I'm sure creatine can help. Anything like that that gives you more endurance, amino acids, anything you can take to help your endurance and strength. Even if you take a pre-workout, if you're not pushing yourself hard, you don't have a partner, you could try a pre-workout with maybe a little stimulants. Transparent Labs has a really good one. I like theirs. I'm not getting paid by them, but that's the one I use. And you will push hard and push those extra reps. As if you don't get those extra reps, you're not going to grow. You got to push the extra reps to grow. You got to grow, baby. You got to grow.
Here's why these lifts beat everything else. You can train these lifts for decades with tiny weight increases without running out of progress. You cannot do that with isolation exercises. Now, isolation does have its place, but it's the dessert, not the main meal. And if you're natural, the meal is squats, deadlifts, heavy presses, heavy pulls. Everything else is really optional. And if you don't have these numbers yet, stop worrying about optimization. Stop watching science-based nonsense. Stop chasing novelty. Stop majoring in the minors. Get brutally strong first. Everything else comes after. So let me make this clear. These 6 lifts, these numbers, these standards are the fastest path to getting lean and jacked as a natural lifter. No gimmicks, no confusion, no bullshit.
So great video by Tanner Shuck. He's got a point. Those compound exercises will get you buff. I work at a gym that 2 guys that own the gym, it was the Forum Athletic Club. I'm giving you a plug. They're in Atlanta. They have 3 locations. And 2 of the owners, Roman Fortin and Dan Owens, they played pro football for 10 years. They had all the pro athletes coming in there. And a lot of guys would come in and train pro athletes, and they would do conventional deadlifts, power shrugs, and squats as like a circuit, nasty compound exercises. And they were getting it. And they were getting it really, really hard. Power shrugs. Power shrugs is when you're using your legs, your calves, and you're exploding up with heavy loads. So those 3 in a giant set actually destroyed these football players. And it works, and they got buff and big, and they were lifting heavy and hard. So, again, compound exercises will get you big. You just got to make sure you have the right technique, the right form. You got to have a good coach. You got to have a belt. You got to have the right shoes for squats, conventional deadlifts. If you don't wear squat shoes when you're doing conventional deadlifts and squats, you're wasting your time. They're called squat shoes because they're made for squats. You understand? Squat shoes are made for squats. Stop taking your shoes off. It does absolutely nothing. I can't stress to you how important it is to wear squat shoes. Wear squat shoes on squats. You're going to stay vertical and you'll actually get your legs to grow. On conventional deadlifts, wear squat shoes. I'm telling you, this is the key. They're called squat shoes for a reason. So you got to buy squat shoes if you want to grow. You got to get that range. You're not going to get much growth in your legs. But again, great video by Tanner Shuck. Greek Freak Training here. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Greek Freak Training, baby, let's go. Come on, come on. Greek Freak Training, let's go. GreekFreakTraining.com. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. GreekFreakTraining.com. Let's go.